Just like when we switched from prime factoring with numbers to prime factoring with variables, it kind of looks harder, but it's super not harder. Okay, so let's talk about how I'm going to simplify these radicals with variables, and it's just a matter of kind of keeping organized. It's going to be really important to kind of keep your work neat here, just so you don't lose track of stuff. That's like the mistake you're most likely to make, is just to kind of lose track of stuff. So let's not let that happen. I remember that 56 is 7 times 8. 7 is prime, so I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to finish factoring this guy. Okay, now, when I go to write out my factors, okay, and I'm going to super do this the long way, and you're going to see it's like kind of a lot of writing, and you might find that as you get more comfortable with this, you're able to shorten up your process a little bit. That's okay. But I'm going to write out the prime factorization, right? All this junk is underneath a radical sign. So this is, I did my 56. Now this is A, and B, and B, and B, because it's B to the third, and 4 C's, so much writing, okay? And this is where you're going to see, like, this next step that I write, like, you might find this is the one that you can maybe skip as you get more comfortable. But look, here's a double, okay? That's going to go in its own little house. Here's a double. That's going to go in its own house. Here's a double. Here's a double. Watch what I'm going to do, because here's what I don't want. I don't want to lose track of anything. Sorry, that's my garage. It's, like, extremely, extremely loud. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm going to double underline all my singles, because I don't want to lose them, okay? So this double, it's going in its own house. Okay, this double, it's going in its own house. This double, own house. This double, own house. These singles, they all go in their one single house, right? This is like the house where all the people that aren't married off yet live. Okay, that's how it goes. So 2 times 2 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. Now, the thing is, this works the same way, right? This is b times b, which is b squared, and the square root of b squared is b, because if I square a number and I square root it, right, it's like, it's the same. So see how this was 2 times 2 and I square root it and it was 2? B times b, I square root it, it's b. How about this one? This is going to be a c. This one's going to be a c. Okay, now these ones, I'm going to just write it out right now. Okay, and now remember my last step is to multiply everything. So watch what this becomes, and I'm just too super tight on space. Okay, so this is, on the outside, this is 2b, and there's actually 2c, so I'm going to write it like this, 2bc squared. And on the inside, I have 2 times 7, that's 14, times a times b. Okay, and this is my answer, and it's super long, and it was like a lot of writing, right? And the key is to just keep it organized. But it's not anything hard for you. It's just, right, for those of you, especially with messy handwriting, you might have to slow yourself down a little bit. All right, let's take a look at this next one. Listen, here's a shortcut. See this number? It's a 64. You know what I think when I think 64? I think it's a perfect square. The square root of this number is 8. Okay, this right here, that's the number 8. It's the number 8. Okay, so I know at the end, my answer is going to just have an 8 on the front. Okay, now if you go and you factor it, here's what's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to show you. Let's say you think, oh, 8 times 8 is 64, and then you don't realize you could just stop there and call that your double, right? And you keep going. Here's what you're going to get. You're going to get 6 2s, right? Look at all these 2s. You're going to get 6 2s, and you're going to write them all out, and you're going to make 3 little houses, and each of those is going to become a 2, and then you're going to get 2 times 2 and 2 times 2 at the end. It's going to be an 8. Let's skip that work. Okay, let's not do it. All right? Right, so again, I'm going to tell you what would happen, but we're not going to write it because we noticed, oh, 64 is a perfect square, so we're going to save ourselves work. Right? What would have happened is I would have written out 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 6 times. And then I would have said, oh, that's a double, that's a double, that's a double. I would have gotten 3 doubles. I would have had 3 of these. They would have each turned into a 2, and then I would have multiplied them together and got 8. But you know what? I'm not going to do any of it, okay? Because I already know. I saw this and I was like, square root of 64, that's 8. So I'm only going to write my variables because I'm lazy, okay? So I already have a bunch of variables to write, so I'm not that lazy because I still have a lot of work to do. And I didn't leave myself enough space. My paper is smaller than yours. Have you noticed that? I can't print on the big paper at home. Okay, so I have all this. Okay, now again, this is where you might find that you can start to take some shortcuts as you sort of see the patterns and things, right? But look, I have a pair of x's, a single x, pair of y's, pair of y's, pair of z's, single z. Let's be lazy. Okay, we're going to be lazy again. We're going to skip this step. This is the step right here we're going to skip, right? This is going to be x times x in its own house, like this, right? It's going to look like this, except with x's. And then that's going to become an x, okay? This is going to be a y times y in its own house, and it's going to become a y. Okay, this is going to be a y times y in its own house. That's going to become a y. Same deal with this z. Same deal with this z. Okay, then this x and this z are going to be in the single house, right? In the house for single numbers, single letters. So then what's this going to become? Well, this is, look, I'm going to put it right here in my answer. This is 1x. It's 2 y's being multiplied together. That's y squared. 2 z's being multiplied together, that's z squared. And left in my little house, very small on the edge of my paper, is an x and a z. Okay, that's it. You're going to try these. They are long. Don't get lost. Be neat. Okay, but don't lose sight of, they're long, but it's not hard. It's not something you don't know how to do. It's just you got to kind of stay organized here.